a minute. Let the YouTube start. And minute. Let the YouTube start. Let the YouTube start. Great. Okay, bear with me for a minute, everybody, while we get everything set up. Okay, YouTube is running. Let me just put the YouTube link on Facebook to make it easy. Okay, good morning to everybody in Moscow and everybody watching. Give us a minute, we'll get started. And for those of you listening while I'm fighting with this, does everybody hate the new Facebook? They don't make it easy. Okay, so, all right, well, hello and welcome. Today is Sunday, October 25th. And 2020, I guess everybody will remember 2020 for the rest of their lives. And I'm Rob Howard. I'm the founder of EFL Talks. And I want to welcome you to a very exciting show today. And what we're doing is EFL Talks and Trendy English out of Russia. We'll be talking about new trends in ELT. And we're starting today. Thank you for being here. We have a great lineup of speakers today, and you'll see them here on the slide. We're broadcasting now live on YouTube, and we're streaming. We've started. And let me just start the recording, and we're going to get started. Okay, so let me stop sharing. And what I'd like to do is bring on our first speaker for something a little special, and Elena Parasada. If you can turn on your camera and microphone. Good morning. Welcome again.
Okay, hello, everyone.
And I just wanted to take a few minutes before we get started. For those of you out there who are not familiar with Trendy English, I wanted you to give a little background about what Trendy is and what Trendy does, and what people can expect and how they can take advantage of working with Trendy. So, all yours.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really just honored to be part of EFL Talks. As on part of Trendy English, I want to welcome everyone. So what Trendy English is, it's a community of English teachers and heads of language schools, and we work in Russia. At the moment, we unite a few thousand teachers all over Russia. and we run different kind of events for English teachers and heads of language schools. So we've got conferences, different meetups, workshops, online. So these days, and physical events as well. And we do the biggest, I believe, the biggest conference in Russia for English teachers and those who are involved. Who is involved in ALT. It is Trendy English Conference, which takes place every November. So the last weekend of November. Well, actually, last year we were very pleased to have Rob among our speakers. And this year, Rob is also going to take part as the speaker in our online event. Okay, so that's it. So, well, actually, as a project, we started Trendy English in 2013, and the idea was just to make a new type of conference and to talk only about innovative things. And I still believe that we can stick to this idea. Of course, we are getting bigger and more people join us, and different teachers, they're interested in different topics. Okay, but we still try just to show our colleagues what new things appear in LT world. Okay, I think that's the main maybe idea about Trendy English. And also we've got like a special division inside our company, just Trendy English Games, where we focus particularly on games. Okay, and how to play games, how to create games, how to use good games, and how not, well, how and why games, so not to entertain, but how to make the most of games in our lessons. Okay, Rob, this is what I was just going to say about the project maybe and well, Trend English. Okay.
Very good. Thank you. I'm just monitoring everything while my computer goes crazy, my other computer. And that's great. And I really would like to thank them. Here's, I always get it backwards. And unfortunately, it's terrible because with the black background, you can't see a clear thing. But this is my Trendy English 8. And I'm looking forward to my Trendy English 9. And yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it later and specifically on what's going to happen with Trendy English 9. And I'm looking forward to being there. So now we get to your talk. If you could share your screen.
Okay, just a second. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna spotlight you.
Just a second here, something. Yeah, it has started. Okay, yeah, here is my screen.
Okay, so we have you there. I have my timer all set and ready to go.
Yeah, now the most challenging part of today, of
Yes.
my day today, of my Sunday.
10 minutes and take it away.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's get started. And today I'm going to talk about games and how what is a good game, what makes a good educational game. And this is the first slide which you can see. So usually when I talk to my colleagues and when I ask them why and how they use games in their classes, so the most common answers are these on the slide. So we use games as a reward. So we use games just to entertain, maybe to bring some fun to our classroom. And very often we use games as time fillers. Of course, there is a percentage of people, of English teachers, who understand that games can be used also as a powerful a teaching tool, but still the situation with the use of games is not, well, so still a lot of people in the world, they think that games are just for entertainment. And sometimes English teachers, they've got this idea on their minds. Okay, games are good only for young learners. Okay, when I work with primary school, pre-primary, with young learners, so that's okay to use games. But as soon as my students grow, and when they become teens and adults, okay, I don't want to use so many games in my classroom. And I've got this feeling, okay, they don't really enjoy the game so much. And sometimes they say, okay, teacher, maybe we will stop playing and maybe we will do something more useful. Okay, things like this do happen nowadays. Okay, so, and why do we have this attitude to games among our colleagues? Yes, everybody likes games, but some people still think that, well, games, they are more for fun than for some effective work. Okay, if you use games like this, so have a look at the slide. So it's like a typical LT board game, yeah, snakes and ladders type. And a lot of teachers use games like this in their classroom. Okay, but now let's have a proper look. Let's have a careful, a very careful look at this game. So is it a game? So as a player, what do you have to do here? You've got your starting point and you've got a counter. You move your counter, but before you move your counter, you need to roll the dice. So if you are older than 6, you know that you can't influence the result on the dice. Okay, it's just random thing. You can't do anything. So you roll the dice, you move your counter to some particular square, and then you give an answer. So you have to make up a sentence or open the brackets and fill in the gaps, or maybe you need just to make up a question. Okay, how different is this thing just from a regular traditional grammar exercise in your course book? Just think about it. What makes this kind of activity a game? Just a dice, but I can't influence the result on the dice. And when I should give the answer, so the situation is like this: I know the answer or I don't know the answer. If I'm not smart enough, if I'm not a very smart student, okay, of course I'll lose in this game. Okay, so just think about this thing. Do you play snakes and ladders type of games with your teenage children in real life at home in the evenings? When you go out for a glass of beer, maybe with your friends, do you play snakes and ladders? I bet you don't. Why? It's not interesting at this in your age, for people of your age. So this type of games can be interesting only for those who is younger than 6. Okay, now let's have a look at another quite popular game. I think that I think you can recognize it's Kahoot. Yeah, and a lot of English teachers use it as a game in their classrooms. Okay, now let's discuss this game. So what do we have to do here? There is a question and you give an answer. The situation is again like this, whether you know the correct answer or you don't know the answer. So is it a game? So how can you influence this game? What kind of strategy can you work out? It's just a test. So both of these things are called broccoli in chocolate. This is what game designers call our educational games. So we bring to our classroom just some chocolate to cover broccoli. But a student who has started playing computer games at the age of 1 or 2, he or she, well, they know what is a real real good game. And a real good game, this is something where you can make meaningful choices, where you can work out your strategy, where you can win even if you don't know all the correct answers. Okay, and I think this is now the biggest problem with games in LT. So English teachers know too little about game design, and that's why we can't make our educational games interesting enough for our students. And we should keep it in mind that we don't compete with boring course books. We compete with great computer games, Minecraft, Fortnite, World of Warcraft. So the games which are really, really good, and game designers who created these games, they know how to involve our players into their games. Okay, but of course there is a way out. And as a Trendy English Games company, so we create real games with game goals, with meaningful choices, and of course with educational goals. Okay, I'm not going now to explain you the rules of the game, which you can see on the slide. I'll just say that it is very similar. It is based on the game mechanic Go Fish. And I want you to show two short videos. In the first video, I try to teach my students in a traditional way how to use the question, what does he look like? Okay, let's have a look at it.
Vika, how look like Oscar?
Стоп, почему how? Смотрим на доску.
Стоп, нет.
Вика, what?
Vika, what does look like Oscar?
На доску внимательно смотри.
What does he look like?
What does Oscar look like? Okay, that was the first example. And now let's have a look at the same activity, but now wrapped into a real, turned into a real game. Now we don't just drill these questions, but students play the game with real meaningful choices, and they drill this question without noticing it.
Vika, what does Nick look like?
I don't know. И кнопочка значит нажать. Сейчас. Илья. What does Lucy look like?
I don't know. Какой Алекс? Стоп, нет, подождите, Google, уйди, Google. Нет. Все. Так, в общем. Oscar, what does Bill look like?
Bill has got blonde hair.
Нажимай.
Только одну?
Oscar,
Блин, зачем мне это сказал?
what does Bill look like?
Yeah, he's fat.
Давай. Да.
Okay, I think I do hope that you can see the difference between drilling the same kind of question in a traditional way and in the form of a game. And believe me, that snakes and ladders type of game wouldn't help here. And I would have the same boring voice from my student if he rolls the dice and moves his counter. But when he plays a real game where he can influence the outcome, you can see how involved the person gets. Okay, that is another example of a real game. And actually, this game you can play for free online if you join us on this platform, Games в Знания. So you've got this code, or you can just use your browser. It's gamesvznania.ru, and one of our Trendy English games is available for free. Okay, and actually, so the topic of this game is to practice the conversation in a shop, and you can practice it with students of different levels, from A1 to B1. Okay, that's actually like a kind of a present from us. So go to our platform and play this game. Okay, that's it, Rob. I think I did it in, I could make it in 10 minutes.
You did it. Very good. Well, thanks so much. And as always, you do a great job talking about games. And I always love seeing those little kids and how they interact. So, Elena, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rob. And so good luck with the rest of the conference. So we are all
Great.
so much excited about the whole thing today.
Great. And I'm going to see you in, I guess, just about a month.
Yeah.
29.
Our conference, Trendy English conference, is on the 28th and 29th of November. It's going to be online, and it's like, like a real marathon. We start at 5 a.m. Moscow time, and we finish at 7 p.m. Moscow time. Is just, Russia is such a huge country, and we've got a lot of time zones, and we wanted to make it convenient for each time zone. And of course, we welcome all people from Europe, and maybe not only from Europe, to join us for this great event. Okay, Rob is going to be there.
I'll be there. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye now. Okay, so we're going to move on now, and let me just make my changes here. And our next speaker is Irina, and you see, you beat me to it.
I'm here.
Good. Let me
Hello.
make you co-host. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine, thanks.
Great. And you know all the rules and everything else, right?
Yeah, about 10-minute time, yeah.
Yes. You know that I'm going to interrupt you with my little EFL Talks timer at the end of 10 minutes. But
okay, got it.
Very good. So tell me just, I'll give you 15 seconds. Tell me just a little bit about you.
My name is Irina Mudritsina. I'm with Trendy English Games team, and I'm a game designer, and I'm into games. I've been into games for quite a lot, and I create games, all of them, which Elena have been talking about.
Great. And let's see, I know Anna's going to be here next and talk a little bit. Oh, one thing I would like to ask, before you get started, is we have our speakers are logging into the Zoom room here. Unfortunately, they're putting their names in Russian, and I don't read Cyrillic. So if you could rename yourself in English, the thing that I speak, would be great, so I know who you are. All right, so you can bring your slides up now.
Okay. Just a second.
Very good. And
okay.
I'm gonna put the spotlight on you. And okay, so you got 10 minutes, so take it away.
Okay, and I hope that Anna Gurina will help me today, because I'm gonna talk about flashcard games and how to organize them both online and in physical, in your physical class. Okay, to do so, I usually use wordwall.net website. It's full of wonderful templates. And today I'm talking about my top 5 favorite flashcard games. Because when working with primary students, you find that flashcard games are a really useful tool to work with vocabulary. Okay, the first game is Magic Eyes. And to play it, I use flip tiles. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Tell me, can you see the word wall? Or what can you see?
I'm seeing just the link here.
Yeah, I need to do something with okay. Okay, here we are. Now, is it better?
It hasn't come up yet. Now it's up. Now you can
Okay.
start.
So basically, flip tiles template helps you to display all your flashcards, as if you stick them on the board or something. Okay, first you get your students to repeat all the words. For example, the first card is hall, Anna. Okay, and your students say hall. Okay, living
Hall.
room.
Living room.
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Okay, thank you. And you repeat all the cards. To make it more interesting and engaging, you might ask students to use different voices. For example, to repeat very, very slowly. Anna, hall.
Hall.
Living room.
Living room.
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Okay, and now very, very fast. Hall.
Hall.
Living room.
Living room.
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Okay, also you can use different animal voices or get students to repeat very loudly or very quietly. Okay, after a couple of rounds, you flip over the first card. Okay, Anna, what's here?
Hall.
Oh, yeah, and you keep on with procedure. Yeah, hall, living room, kitchen, stairs, blah, 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 dining room. Okay, the second round, you flip over the second card. Anna, what's here?
Living room.
No. Number one,
Hall.
hall.
Living room.
Kitchen, stairs, and okay, you finish when all the cards are face down. It's a quite challenging activity, but it works well, and students remember and memorize all the new vocabulary. Okay, the next game is called Clever Parrots. Okay, Anna, now you are a parrot and you are clever. And what usually parrots do?
Repeat the words.
Yeah, they repeat the words. Okay, but you're clever. And if I say the word correctly, you repeat it. If I don't, you say nothing. Okay, in physical class, you use flashcards. For example, bathroom.
No.
It's a bathroom. Look at my, okay.
That's very small. I can't see it. Sorry.
Okay, you just shuffle your cards. Now let's move to word wall. And to play this flashcard game, I use template, which is called random cards. Okay, it's really simple and at first sight kind of primitive, but okay. So Anna, you are a clever parrot. Bedroom.
Bedroom.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Bathroom. Okay. Bathroom.
Bathroom.
Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Living room.
Living room.
Garden. Yeah, very well. Okay, so to make this activity more challenging, keep the pace, yeah, make it more, yeah, play faster. Okay, Julia, hello. Okay, another game is called, game number 3 is called Flash. I show you the cards. No, I show you the cards very fast, and you have to identify them. How to do it on word wall? Look, you deal the card, and there is an undo button. You click on it very fast, yeah? Okay, deal, undo, straight away. Okay, Anna, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Kitchen.
Once again.
Bedroom.
No.
Living room.
Living room. Yeah, great. Good job. The next one. Deal, undo.
Dining room.
Dining room. Yeah. Deal, undo.
Bedroom.
Bedroom. Deal, undo. Oh,
Again,
sorry.
bedroom.
Again, bedroom. Okay, so the idea is clear, I think. Okay, and the next game is called What's Missing? Yeah, it's a very popular game when you put all the cards on the board and your students close their eyes, and while they are not looking, you take away one card. Okay, and when the students open their eyes, they have to identify the card which is missing. So to to play this game, I use the same random cards template. Yeah, but we need to adjust it just a little bit. Look, we scroll to the options, and I have 8 flashcard set. So here is the option called number of deal places. I need to set 7, 8 minus 1, and click on apply to this activity. Okay, let's see how it works. I deal the cards. See, all the set is here except one card which is missing, which is face down. Okay, Anna, what's missing?
Is it a garden?
No.
Is it living room is here, dining room, bedroom, everything that I have seen before is here.
No. Think again.
Bedroom, bathroom.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't know, I give up.
Give up. Okay, and it was kitchen. Yeah, and of course you play this game when your students are familiar with the cards very well. And the last game I want to demonstrate to you is called Slowly, Slowly. In physical classroom, you do like this. You slowly open the cards, slowly, slowly, until the students can identify it. And on what wall we have a template called bit by bit. Okay, Anna, look at the screen very carefully, and when you are ready to name the card, say stop.
Huh? Stop.
And
bathroom.
Bathroom. Okay, bathroom. Yeah, you are right. It was a bathroom. Okay, so the students enjoy playing all this game very much. Okay, so once again, here all the names of the games and names of the templates, word wall templates, and follow us here, join us Facebook group to get more activities, games, and wonderful ideas for your lessons. Thank you very much.
Great, Irina, that was wonderful. And,
I hope.
and Anna did a pretty good job herself, not bad. Are you going to now help her in her session?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, because there is no point to talk about games, so we have to play them.
Yes, I've been
Better
playing
to
games
play
for
them.
years. Great. Okay, well, Anna, why don't you flip on your camera?
Yeah. Hello.
And I'll let you get 15 seconds. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Anna Gurina. I'm with the Trendy English and Trendy English Games team, as well as Irina. We work together and we usually play games together. And we love doing that. And maybe that's why today we are talking about these games, about our favorite ones.
Very good. And let me make you co-host. Now, do you have your own slides to bring up?
Yeah, sure I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can bring those up now. Remember, you got 10 minutes. And you're both doing a great job. Irina, do you want me to leave your camera on for this session, for her session?
I think Irina will help me. So that's why I think she needs her camera on as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
Both on. I'll mute you. So no, two people don't get 20 minutes. So you get 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Take it away.
Okay. So once again, so I'm going to talk about easy games. But a little bit different games. They are called easy, I think, because we can use them in the Zoom, we can use them in the classroom, whatever. It doesn't really matter whether you teach children online or offline. They are still easy to get ready for, and you don't always need a lot of stuff with you. So you sometimes just need to have yourself at the lesson, and that's all what you need for these games. A couple of words about me again. So I'm an English teacher and I'm a game designer, and I love playing. As you can see on my avatar, I'm a very creative person. So the first game we are going to talk about, it is called I've Got a Secret. I've Got a Secret. It's a kind of warming up maybe game, because it is better to use that in the beginning of the lesson. And what you need is just to have a little secret. And if you work with low levels or with little kids, you can use, for example, your bag. So this is my bag, and there is a secret in my bag. So Irina, you are a little girl of 5 years old, and the topic of our lesson is not pets, okay, animals. All right, so, and I've got a secret. Try to guess what is there in my bag.
Is it a cat?
No, it isn't.
Is it a frog?
No, it isn't. It is bigger.
Is it big?
Yeah, it is. Pretty.
Is it yellow?
Well, this one exactly. Something between yellow and brown. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What color is it?
Between yellow and brown.
Brown.
Okay. Usually in the real life, it is brown or white.
Is it a bear?
Yes, this is a bear. Yeah, so if you work with little kids, of course, it is better to use something that they can touch, and they will be happy to guess and touch it. But if you work with higher levels, you can just say, guys, I've got a secret. So I did something some years ago. And using past simple, revising past simple, or something like that, they asking you a question. For example, how old were you when you did it? Or did you buy something, or did you break something like that? So Irina, I have a secret, and yes, I did it many years ago when I was a child. So can you guess what did I do?
Mm-hmm. Was it wrong? Did you do something wrong?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. How old were you?
I was about 6 years old. I did it together with my brother. He was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm. Did you break anything?
No.
I didn't. Okay. Did you lost something? Did you lose something?
No, I didn't.
Did you? Well, I don't know. Did you beat up someone?
No, actually, well, as far as we are short in time, so I will tell you my secret. So my brother and I flashed our father's fish from father's favorite aquarium.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, That was a crime. Of course, our father punished us, but anyway. So the next easy game and one of the favorite games is a hangman. And you can see that I wrote hangman or Ron. I will show you why. And this game is usually played with the help of a Zoom whiteboard. So you can also say the topic of the lesson you are going to use in this game. So, and if you play classical hangman, you just say, for example, the topic is garden. And so this word, which I'm going to hide, has 6 words. So Irina, 6 letters, sorry. So Irina, try to guess garden. What is it? And you need to tell me letter by letter.
Okay. Is it something in the garden?
Yeah, something in the garden.
Is there an A?
Sorry, no.
Is there an O?
Yeah.
Is there an E?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there an R? What about M?
No.
No. S?
No.
W?
Yeah.
Shower.
Sorry, no.
Okay, L. Yeah.
And the last one is
F.
Yeah, sure. So that's a flower. So this is a classical version of a hangman. So it is easy to use in the classroom because you can use your board and you can use a piece of chalk or a marker. So, and you can use a Zoom whiteboard. And one more version, if you don't want to hang a person, it is more humanic, so you can write a word. So the word wrong, 1 letter for mistake. So if Irina says the wrong letter, I start to draw the word wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then R, also with 4 elements, and so on. So, and finally you write the word wrong. So this is also a good way to work with. So, and we continue with my slides. So catch a story or fireball, one more nice activity or a game to play with. So catch a story is usually played with people offline or online. If you play offline, you just need a ball. If you don't have a ball, I usually take a piece of paper and make a ball to throw. So, and I start a story and throw my ball to my group mate, or if I'm a teacher, I throw it to my student. And I start, for example, yesterday I went to the zoo and I saw an elephant. And I throw my ball to Irina, and Irina needs to continue my story. So yesterday I went to the zoo and I saw an elephant.
The elephant was really big and hungry.
And Irina throws the ball to another student. Yeah, if you play offline in the classroom, you just need to be in a circle. It is better and more convenient. And from the point of view of, oh yeah, my cat, sorry. So, and it is really, I think you feel closer, you feel yourself as a team if you play in the circle. And you create a story. You can use any grammar tense, so you can practice whatever you want using this mechanic. And fireball, I also put into this slide because it is a kind of the same thing, but it's a fireball, so it's very hot, and you don't have a lot of time to think about a story. You need to say continuation as fast as you can because the ball is very hot and you throw it. And if you work online, it is also possible to play this game because you can use a virtual ball. So imagine that this is a ball and the situation is the same. So Irina, yesterday I didn't go to the zoo, but I still saw the elephant.
It was in the street.
Oh, and it was big, really big for this street even.
Okay, the elephant was eating ice cream.
Yeah, and the ice cream was very nice.
Strawberry, actually.
Yeah. So, and finally, of course, I hope there are more than 2 students in your group and you have bigger groups, and you can make a really nice story and revise the material you wish, and lots of useful things you can do with that. So, and what else I wanted to say, unfortunately, I think I don't have time for this one, but okay, anyway, if you want to have fun, always have fun and useful fun during your lessons, follow our group, just scan this QR code and you will follow our Facebook group. You can also find us on the sites like Trendy English Games. So, and if you have some questions, you can ask straight my pages in VK or Instagram or whatever. Well, that's, I think, everything I wanted to say.
Well, I'm allowing you like an extra 5 seconds for the cat, which I'm allergic to, by the way. Sorry.
Bless you. Sorry.
It's allergies. Thanks so much. That was great, both of you. And I brought my ball and I'm all ready to play. But I must tell you, Anna, American in the background, not this London flag and everything else. Come on, change the wallpaper.
Okay. I will take it into account. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thanks. You guys are both great and we appreciate it. Lots of good ideas. So see you at Trendy 9.
See you. Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye now. Okay, so next up, we're going to bring up our next speaker, Julia. And Julia, good morning. And you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's a sunny morning here in Moscow,
Oh,
and so I'm really glad to see it.
good. I'm going to make you co-host. Let me give you 15 seconds to introduce yourself. Actually, let me tell, there's a reason that I have you introduce yourself, because I can't pronounce you guys' last names, you know?
Oh, my last name is Vershinikova.
Oh, yes, easy for you to say. But so glad that you're here today, and you can bring up your slides. And you're going to talk to us today about effective online ways of teaching and learning Lexis.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and my name is Julia, and I have been teaching English for 15 years, since 2005. And I have been working with kids of different ages and with adults. And I don't know, I made them learn the words by heart.
Good. All right. Well, I've got the timer all set, so take it away.
Okay, good. So today I'm going to speak about effective ways of teaching and learning vocabulary. Many teachers know thousands and hundreds of ways of teaching vocabulary, and we use it every day. But really often we come across the situation when students forget vocabulary again and again, and we have to use other things during our lessons and show them cards, find exercises, playing games with them, etc. But we spend the precious time of the lesson for drilling, and I think it's absolutely I don't know, this is not what we should do during the lesson. Drilling must be done at home by students. And just imagine the situation when every student learns 10 words per lesson. And during the whole period here in Russia, for example, our students learn English for 10 years at schools, and they may learn 10,000 words in total. And that's the situation that may really exist. And now about learning words. The main problem is to put them into long-term memory. And Eric Kandel got a Nobel Prize for his research, and he proved that words can be put into long-term memory by multiple repetition, and the number of repetition differs from students and differs from, each student has its own number. And another way is stressful situation. Of course, we cannot provide our students with stressful situations. That's why the only thing is left for us is multiple repetition. And another scientist is George Miller, proved that we have limits in our short-term memory. You know that before words go to long-term memory, they just stay in short-term memory. And so if we want our students to learn more than 7 words, it becomes impossible for them. By the way, they can just process only 7 or 9 words at once. So how do I solve the problem? I use the online platform Znania so that my students could learn the words at home. And in an interesting way, and at the same time, it helps me to control the whole process. And it includes the so-called learning in time, because I usually give them the words that we are going to use the next lesson. And when they come to the lesson, they are ready to speak, they are ready to do all the exercises without any drilling and other things. So what does teacher do? Teacher just creates a lesson. He may use pictures, diagrams, label diagrams, and whatever phrases, translation, definitions, and chunks. Then teachers should choose the number of repetitions for each task, because every student should complete the task with the result not less than 90% in order to get access to the test. So after that, that's how our tasks look like. So flashcards, they're quite simple, where students decide whether they know the word or not. Listen, it's where the word is pronounced, and the students should decide how it is translated. Then matching, unscramble, fill in, type in, and of course the final test. And you see here it is closed until every task is completed. Okay. Next, this is our new feature, label diagram, which helps students to visualize words, and they see the whole picture, and the process of learning goes much easier for them. And after that, here is the teacher's log. And teachers see only the results of the test in their logs. In case I see a 0, I understand that there wasn't any multiple repetition for this particular student. And I understand that the test is closed for him. And after that, I work with his motivation. I just talk to his parents. I try to motivate him with marathons. Sometimes I hold the competition between students really often, and they really like it. They got prizes for learned words. And the main thing is that teachers can analyze the whole process and see and manage this process of vocabulary drilling. That's really valuable. And here, that is how the statistics look like. This is the statistics, and I usually create sets for the next lesson activities. And in case I see all the students completed the lesson, I do not revise the vocabulary. So, and we have more minutes for other activities. That helps me to use time of the lesson more effectively. And actually, students become really excited when we use games during the lesson. That's the best motivation for them. But I say just choose, children, whether you drill words with me or we play games if we have time. Of course, they choose playing games, and I usually use games also from this platform. And these are the games that are designed for using during distance learning, during online learning, and these are really incredible games for speaking practice and games and grammar drilling. Yeah. And so I shared the ways of teaching and drilling vocabulary with you, and that works with my students here in Russia and with many students, with thousands of students here in Russia, and I hope it will help you too. And I've got two reasons why do my students like it. First of all, the first reason is that they were born with gadgets. So that was the first thing. And that is the most common and comfortable way for them to get the information from the world. And some students want to cheat, yeah, and they use books while completing all the tasks. They open the books and do all the tasks and really successfully. But after these multiple repetitions, words stay in the long-term memory, and they learn them even if they didn't want to do this. And that works really good and well. And the second reason is that students become more confident during the lessons if they know the vocabulary. And they become really inspired and to learn when they feel successful, and they really do feel so after they have learned all the words. And I'm sure that the main aim of every teacher is to make our students successful and inspired, and online tools helps us to do so. And I hope you will join our community and you will try it, and I'm sure you will like this tool. So follow us in our social nets and just go to vznanie.ru and try it. And by the way, it's absolutely free for teachers and for students if they use their computers. And I suppose that's all. I don't know what time is it now and how many minutes I have been.
Oh, you got about 50 seconds left.
50 seconds.
Yeah, start fast.
So I don't know what to say. I may show you some tasks here. So that's how the diagram looks like when the students do this task. So what is it? It is lamp. Here it is. Next, bookshelf, and so on. This is matching and unscramble. So what is it? It's a bookshelf and students. So just put the books into right places. Next, go fill in, and after that, type in. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tasks for each student, and teacher decides how many times students should do this task. So here you see 2 ticks. That's why that's where student must complete the task twice.
Great. Okay, well, thank you so much. That was interesting. I'm not familiar with this site, but I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, you should try it, definitely.
Great.
Okay, thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you so much for being here and speaking. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next speaker, which is Anastasia or Anastasia. I don't know how to pronounce.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
Fine. So it's quite easy to pronounce my name, but my last name is really, really difficult, you know. It's difficult even for Russian people. So it is Dashitsina. So it's difficult to spell it, you know.
Dashitsina.
Yeah.
It really confused me with the essay.
That's my husband's last name. So, but so I also didn't get used to it, but okay.
How many years does it take to get used to?
13 already.
I'm still working on mine, so don't feel bad. Okay, great. Let's see. So let me give you 15 seconds to introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Yeah, just I'm a member of Quest Case team, and we've been creating quests and quizzes, educational games for more than 5 years. And so we train teachers to create quests, and we use modern instruments. So the next time I will definitely tell you about our internet platform that makes teachers' lives easier, you know. But today I will tell you about tasks, just different quest tasks.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, why don't you bring up your slides?
Yes. Just a second.
Yep.
All right, so just a second, I will. All right, so I'm ready to start. So that's not. Sorry, just a second. That's it. Okay, that's it. I'm ready.
All right. Well, I get the timer all set.
Yeah.
So take it away.
Yes, I remember about time. Well, many people think that quests are ideal for parties, birthdays, and so on. But an educational quest is a unique instrument for not only for revising vocabulary and grammar, but also it is an instrument to motivate our students and lighten up their desire to study. Well, and there is one more thing. There is a life hack. You can create one quest and easily adapt it to all of your students, to all the groups that you have. Well, as for our students, we have created just thousands of tasks that make our students think. So they solve puzzles, they compete with each other and compete with the game. Sometimes they win or lose. It means they feel emotions, and they search for different codes, find locations, and well, they get prepared for the next round and they look forward for the next game. I will just, it's obvious that quests, so that there is no need to do quests every lesson. You can organize them once a month or at the end of the term, at the beginning of the year, or you can just add elements, so some quests elements, just every lesson. It depends on your goals. I will show you some tasks today. This one is, I think, one of the easiest. You just make crossword puzzle. Our students have to put the letters in order, so they unscramble words and get the keyword. In this example, it is a doll. So then they look around the classroom and they have to find a realia or a flashcard with the doll on it. And next to this flashcard or next to the doll, they find the next task, or they find the sweets or something, just what you put there. One more task that we have, just our students can get a note or a message. For example, there is a goat, a rabbit, a turtle, a cat, and a hamster in the room. The level can be different, of course. And then our students have to look around the classroom and they have to find the pictures, I don't know, under the chairs, on the walls, behind the boxes, wherever. And then they have to put the numbers in the order they appear in the words. For example, a goat is number 2. So a rabbit is number 1. So the code here is 21347. So they do the task. They just read the words, and we as teachers understand that they know it, and the code makes the task much more interesting. Well, the next task, our students have to just read a story, and the most attentive ones realize that there are some mistakes here. The students have to they have to find and correct the mistakes, and the correct letters make the next location. So they form the next location. In this example, it is a reception. So it means that they have to go to the reception, or just, again, it depends on you. You can just make the word, I don't know, chair or a board, and then they find the next task there. And I think all the teachers love lessons connected with different holidays like Halloween or Christmas, New Year or St. Valentine's. And of course, quests help here again. And for example, the task. Our student look at the pictures. We hope that they realize that there is a witch, a zombie, and a bat. But what to do next? We can help them. We can give them some hints, but we will not just give them. The students have to pay, not money, of course. We want them to show their knowledge. And for example, we can roll the dice, and if there is number 2, our students have to do 2 extra tasks for us. They can write irregular verbs, they can fill in the gaps, or you can give them just 2 exercises from the book. It depends on your lesson plan, but finally they get the desired hint, and if they need, you can give them the second one, the third one. For example, look at the second hint. It is written that you have to just read the word zombie backwards, right? And the third hint says that the first letter is important. So finally, our students get the word web, and they again, right? So W-E in the word zombie, and bat. So they get the word bat here. And again, they look around the classroom and find the web, and there are some spiders on it. And again, they have to guess the next location. Just you can easily understand that that's the word chair. So they have to run to the chair and just get something there. The next task, maybe a task for their homework, or again, sweets or something like that. So quests are usually really dynamic. Our students move, they just sometimes even run, and they, as I told you, they are excited, they feel emotions, they are motivated, and we as teachers feel really we're really happy because of that. Okay. We love not only quests, but quizzes. It's one more type of educational game. So here, there are a lot of different rounds. It's up to your imagination. You can create just thousands of rounds, different rounds. And so students have to, so we just prepare the PowerPoint presentation. For example, look at this round. It is an alphabet, a vocabulary round, 26 questions, 26 letters of the English alphabet. The key letter can be at the beginning of the word, so at the end or somewhere in the middle. In this example, it is the last, so the key letter E is the last one in the word. So they have to write the word candle. Spelling matters here, of course. It is just a vocabulary round. And the next one, so the letter W is in the middle. So the word snowflake. So, for example, this word, the letter A is at the beginning of the word, and the word is ambulance. So here the letter Z is in the middle again. So, and the word is not 12 because there is no Z in the word 12. That is dozen. And there is one more round that we really love that is called nesting words. And so there are 3 or 4, maybe 5 pictures, and you need to guess all the words. Spelling matters again, and each word contains the previous one. Let's look at the example. For example, so look at the word pin. The word pine contains pin, and the word pineapple contains pine and pin. So that's interesting. Students really love this task, and they are very, very happy when they get all the words. Sometimes it is really challenging for them. And there is one more round that we really, really love. That is rebus puzzles. So we as teachers love, but surprisingly our students think that it is one of the most difficult rounds because of all the apostrophes, changing letters and so on. So let's look at the example. The word is challenge here, and when they get this word again, the emotions are really, really just we feel them. It's just, and we are happy as well. Okay, and so as I told you, there are a lot of rounds that you can create, just like alphabet, guess the character, and many others, just different for parties and for different occasions. Yes, yes, and there is the last thing that I wanted to say. Just we also want to give you a present if you scan this QR code or follow the link and type quest case. We'll give you Christmas rounds for your lessons, just 2 Christmas rounds. If you have questions, please contact us because we have a lot to tell you, and 10 minutes just to that's not enough. Thank you very much for your attention.
Great, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
A lot of good ideas. I was really confused with that pin, pine, and pine.
Yeah.
No,
yes, but yes, you have to train, students have to train brains, and sometimes they are really, it can be challenging, but the result is just exciting. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye now. And we're halfway through, so let me bring up the next speaker.
I'm here. I'm the next.
Oh, you're next. How could I forget you, Julia?
So, hello, everybody. It's so unusual to be a guest speaker.
Why is that? Usually you're running everything, right?
Yeah, and usually you come to me as a guest.
That's
so today it's vice versa.
Well, it's nice to have a reversal for a change and make you work instead of you making me work.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here doing this today. And that's it. I've never been able to hear you really talk because you're always hosting. So I'm
okay, I'm worried, really.
No, stop it. So 15 seconds, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I will be quick. I am a teacher with more than 20 years experience.
You started when you were 3, right?
I worked at universities, I worked at state schools, and now for the last some years, I am a freelancer. So I've got really a great experience in this sphere. I will show some information here. I'm a psychologist, and I'm a facilitator, and that's why my topic today is connected with this one. I'm so worried. I don't know how to start the presentation.
Okay, are you on a PC?
Yeah. Just a second.
Just press F5.
Okay, thanks. So it worked as usually. It works at home. Everything is works great. So
Yeah, it should be okay.
Just a moment.
Function 5.
Oh, it doesn't work.
Okay, then here, we'll do it another way. Go to up in the right-hand corner near your picture, it says present.
Here it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. There was our pictures, our windows. That's why I couldn't see it.
Yeah. Okay. So 10 minutes. Ready?
Yeah, I am ready. So 10 minutes. Today I'm going to speak about facilitation that works. How to encourage teens to speak. And so usually, and everybody agrees that discussion is really a good way of organizing speaking activities. And we usually face two problems here. So students, the first problem is students don't know what to say. And the second problem, students don't know how to say it. So, and today during my short talk, I'm going to speak about the first problem, how to solve what to do if they don't know what to say. Some three effective techniques for communicating thoughts and ideas for any discussion. So today I'm going to speak about both variants, so online or online version. So you will choose adopt. You will be able to adopt them somehow. Okay. So, and the first technique, it's facilitation technique. Usually, it's a brainstorm. So, of course, the first point here is to offer a topic for discussion, of course. And today I will show you everything on the example of the topic, traveling abroad. So, and the first point, you ask your students to write down all the ideas which come to their minds, and even the mad ones, so any ideas on stickers. It can be real stickers, or they can be real stickers, or they can be online stickers, for example, on Jamboard or Miro desk. So on Miro board. Okay, and so one idea, one sticker, it's important. And then all the stickers are put on the board or on, so they are already in Jamboard or Miro. And then you may read all these ideas and clarify something. You may discuss it somehow. What does your student mean by it, and so on and so forth. So short discussion. So, and then you ask your students to come to the board. It's an example of my board. So you ask your student to come to the board and make a grouping. So grouping, it's activity when they come and discuss how they think it's correct to group these ideas. So there is no right variant. They do it somehow according to their own ideas. They should discuss it, and you may ask about the reasons of grouping. You may not ask if it's clear and you see the discussion is going on. So then they grouped their ideas in some variants. So here on the board we can see 4 groups. The next step is ranking. So ranking or voting. Now you should decide which groups which ideas will be discussed first. So you give each of your students 2 or 3 votes. If it is online, so the same variant. So, and they come to the board and put any mark. It can be really any mark, or it can be dot, it can be tick, and can be smile, or something like this. So, and but they can vote. They can 2 or 3 votes. It depends on the number of groups. So then you count. And here, as an example, we see that we've chosen 3 groups with approximately the same number of variants. And you may leave it like this and take all 3 groups into consideration, or you may, if you need, you may choose only one. Then you have got the second round of voting. Just you have to change the color maybe of voting, or maybe the special mark for voting to choose it. So then the next point, or the next step, can be you may ask your students to add some more ideas to the chosen group or groups. And again, we ask them to write everything that comes to their minds. So different ideas, but now the circle is limited, so they should add ideas only according to their groups. Of course, then you've got the full activity for discussion, and now it's already ready-made activity. You may take it, they may take it, and discuss their topic. So the next technique is very close but a little bit different. It's called advice circle. So you ask your students really sit in a circle, or a kind of a circle, and each student writes one idea on a sticker, silently, no discussion here. And they give their stickers to the next student clockwise, for example. And so the task is to add something new to the idea. So the rule is no critics, no negative evaluations, only they should only add something. So again they the next step they give to the other student, again add something, they give to the other student, and then add something, and so on and so forth. Then again, when you've collected the ideas, you may act as in the previous technique. So again, you may vote, you may add, you may rank, so the same variant. And the third technique is very interesting. It's the kind of a final technique when they've discussed, when they've collected ideas, to get the impression of their results and to get the real impressions, so physical impression, a kind of, you may ask your students to draw posters, with their ideas. So, and they should discuss and decide how they will do it. So, or one of them will be drawing, or each person will draw their own things and their own ideas. So it's up to them to decide. So, and then again, they explain and answer the questions and speak about what is there, what is here. If it is online version, it's also quite possible. You might divide them into breakout rooms, and there they can share the screen, choose blank page and draw there, and then make a screenshot. And it's the final result of their work. They return to the main room and show it to everybody. So that's why it's also possible, quite possible online. And it's funny it's interesting and it's much easier for them to speak about their ideas when they have got some drawings, pictures, or something like this. So that's why you can see on the photo, it's a real picture from our participants. So, and it's really interesting for them. It doesn't matter how old they are. So, and of course, I'd like to say that much more interesting ideas you can learn and find in our annual online conference, Trendy English 9, so which will take place at the end of November, the 28th, 29th of November. And we really will be happy to see all of you there. And you may see the program of the conference, and you may see our speakers from different parts of our world here. And here is also a promo code for 10% discount. And so thank you for listening. You may find me in social nets. I'm everywhere, Julia Bubulova. And so 10 minutes.
You did it. Very good. And that was great information. And of course, we hope to see you in 3 weeks, and you're going to be hosting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah. I think yes, maybe not only me, because it will be a very long event. So,
yes.
But I think we will. You will see me there.
Great. How many speakers? It's 100 and some odd speakers, correct?
130.
Yep. Good.
Yeah.
So there'll be lots of great information, lots of great speakers. So we hope to see everybody there.
Yeah, and Rob helped us with the speakers. So thanks a lot.
My pleasure. And I'll see you soon.
See you. Bye.
Thanks, Julia. Okay, so next up we go to Elena. And
hi, yes, I'm here.
I see you. Hang on, let me give you your 15 seconds of fame and tell us about you.
Okay, thank you. So hello everyone on YouTube. Hello Rob, and thank you for invitation. Yeah, so about me, I'm an online teacher and a blogger with 20,000 followers on VK, and I am a teacher trainer and make a mission to teach online possible. Well, so I think
followers, you're beating me. Send some my way.
Okay, so sorry, pardon, can you repeat?
You're ready to start? You want to bring up your slides?
Yeah, so I'll do it. At first, I just wanted to say that for me, to be a teacher means to motivate, to educate, to give knowledge, but also to impress, to make students get involved, maybe stay tuned, but also at the same time to have some free hours for our family, not for creating activities and students. And I have a way, it's one site that I can share with you. So tell me, please, do you see my screen or not? Is everything okay?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I'll speak about word wall. So let me set a timer because I have 10 minutes and 10 slides. Okay. So word wall is the easy and creative way to create your own teaching resources. And as the creators say, it's the easy way. It's really easy. There are a lot of examples already made, resources, activities from other teachers, but you can also easy to create yourself. You just pick a template, enter your content, and you can print out your activities for offline classes or play on the screen while online classes. So you can use this site for young learners or adults for any lesson step and any lesson aim. For example, here you can use a template of cards and present your new material, your new vocabulary. Or you can make easily make just a couple of minutes and you make a map, yeah, and you label something there. You also can use the wordwall.net for practicing, for drilling, like here, matching animals and the words, the pictures and the words, or just play a game, just a positive kind of a hangman with crosses and hearts. It's for spelling. Also, we can use this site for visualization of our material, like here, labeling the diagram, or image quiz is just one of the most popular activities for young learners and for adults as well, so they love it. It just brings some fun for classes if they're too boring, maybe. Also, we can use it for some freer practice, like here we have a wheel. We just drag a wheel to spin, and we have some prompts to make our own sentences. It's for grammar, for example. Or offline, we can use story cubes to create our own stories. Here online with wordwall.net, we can use these random cards to create our own stories with vocabulary or grammar that we need. Yeah? So students think that they create stories, teachers think that they are practicing. They don't think it is so. Also, we can change and transfer any boring activities from our course books to the interactive mode, like here. We have the categories and we just put a box and take a box and put it into the right category, like here. What we can't change, it's age, maybe gender, yeah, family history, and so on. Here with young learners, we have some activities in a book like complete or fill the gaps. We can also turn it into the interactive mode with such cards. So this is also an example. Sometimes there are not so many activities and exercises between the parts of the lesson, and we can also create an activity, easily create and quickly. Some activity like here, it's unjumble. When we just type in the sentences in the right order. Maybe we just copy paste them from our course books, from teachers' books, or from our notes. And the system, I mean the word wall, just put them into the incorrect order, and the task is to make it right. Or some course books have such subunits as Get Culture, and they are not usually a success because they may be boring, not interesting, monotonous, and so on. And we can also bring them into an interactive mode, like here with a map with some diagrams, or with some unjumbles, unscrambles, and so on. Well, just look here at the amount and the variety of templates that this site has. That I haven't mentioned, as there are different kinds of crosswords, word searches for spelling. There are some brainstorms, also sitting plans and so on for group work, categorizing, and so on and so on. Here you see the templates that can be printed and used in your offline classes. Then, so one of the most amazing things that that interactives can be presented in different themes. Each theme changes changes the look and feel with different graphics, fonts, and sounds, and it's really great. So you just create one exercise, one activity, and you just switch the theme, and you have 5, 6, or 7 more for different ages, for different aims. So let's take an example of colors. Just 10 colors. If you have very young learners, they can match these balloons with the words. If you have young learners, they can go to jungle with this amazing interface, with this amazing sounds. Yeah, we have sounds. So unfortunately, I have no sounds in the presentation, but you just should go there to word wall and just listen to the sounds. So with all these frogs, bears, birds, and so on. If they're teens, yeah, you can just use this black and white theme. With adults, or again with teens, some board, or just neutral theme like this. And you can also use some theme related to some holidays. For example, we have Halloween, yeah. So just next weekend, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So you can use this, yeah, with all the witches, ghosts, and this sounds of flying, whistling, and so on. It's also amazing, and it makes our students get involved in the lessons and what we are doing there. Next amazing thing again, just it's awesome that we can you create, just make one activity, just select your template. Usually it is better to use matchup activity. Yeah, you just enter your content, as I have already said, just by copy pasting it from somewhere. It's easy. Yeah, it means that you create a fully interactive activity in only a couple of minutes, and you just switch a template and you get 5, 10 more games, more exercises. Again, let's take an example of colors. Yeah, here we have just a game where we have a train and the balloons, and we can drop our boxes there. Yeah, we just click only one button, and we have a maze that we can find a way from it. It's also about colors, but it's just another exercise. We don't do it, we don't create it, so the system does it for us. Yeah, we just click only one button, then we click again, yeah, and switch for another template. For example, it's a memory game when you have to find a match. Here it's a color, so but it can be just any topic, yeah, any grammar topic, any vocabulary topic for any levels. Yeah, it's not only for young learners. So it can be a wheel that we just spin it and make sentences, or maybe not sentences, but the young learners will have an assignment to task to find something in their place, yeah, where they are, something red or something yellow. It's also interesting, or a quiz like this. And also word wall activities can be used as student completed assignments. So when a teacher sets an assignment, students are directed to that one activity without just the distraction of visiting the main activity page. And this feature can be used in class where students have access to their own devices or just use their own computers when we have online classes, and they see the progress of other students. It's also involving and interesting. And as we can use it as a way of setting homework. And here, just look, we see all the kind of feedback that we need, the teachers. So the number of students, the average score, the top score, correct and incorrect questions, answers, sorry, the leaderboard. And the students also see this leaderboard, and they always want to be the winners, and they play it again and again. They think that they play, yeah, but in fact, they practice, and practice. And the results by questions. So that's all that I wanted just to say in this 10 minutes about this site. So, and I really want you to go to this site. It's once again wedwall.net, and try to create one activity. Try it. Yeah, just use different templates, use different themes, and make your online or offline classes more interesting, more involving, brighter, and you will have some free time for your family and for your private life, because it's easy to do and you have a lot of activities, but you've done only one. So thank you for your time. That's all that I wanted to say. So I just stop share. Okay.
That's great. And let me say, I didn't catch it, but this is 100% free for teachers?
Yeah, I did mention, sorry. There are three options, free option, free plan, and two paid. They are not too too expensive, yeah? And you can have a free version. The difference is in the number of these templates that you can have. You have 15 templates in a free version and maybe 30 in paid. So it's not too bad for free version, I think.
Well, it's nice, especially for those teachers who have trouble making things look good. You know, they have good ideas, and it's really made some nice looking slides. So very interesting. I've never heard of this one, and thank you for presenting it for us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting. So, bye.
Okay. Thanks, Elaine. All right, next up, we're getting towards the end. And next up, we have Alexi. And hello, sir.
Hello, it's nice to see you. And it's an honor to be one of the finishing speakers, so to say. Just a few words about myself. I have been teaching English for slightly over 20 years. And I have been working as the editor-in-chief of Title Publishers, Russia's only specialized publishing house, which specializes in EFL textbooks and books and teaching for the last 6 years, I think. And I've also have held a number of other positions, like, for example, since February, I have been working as academic director at Skyeng, which is a very big online school. But we are not going to talk about online schools right now. But my topic today is, and I'm going to start showing my presentation, if I may. Yeah, that works.
Okay,
I'm going to share some techniques to show what we can do to activate students' thinking in EFL Classroom. Normally, we talk about speaking, writing, reading, and other skills, but thinking is at least as important as everything else, because if you look at some issues in online teaching, you will see that here are the questions that teachers seem to ask most of the time, like how can we help students to actively work with information? How can we use internet resources for this purpose? How can we get students to work more actively? And how can we make sure that this does not increase the teacher's workload, which is very, very important, because the pandemic time and the online teaching have led to a huge increase in teachers' workload recently. Now, the entire EFL Talks today have been covering a lot of these issues. So I hope that I will be able to draw your attention to one more thing, one more side of this thing. What can help us? First of all, we can shift the focus of students' work from information search, because very often they only have to read a text and answer a few questions. That is to find information in the text. So we can shift the students' focus of attention from information search to information processing. We can use some techniques which boost students' cognitive development. I'm going to show them to you. And we can use some techniques from project-based learning and task-based learning. So let's have a look at what can be done. For example, when you want to get junior students to think, odd one out tasks seem to do the trick really well on one condition. Like, for example, if you ask the students to find the odd word in this task, sand, snow, towel, and sun, it allows for various answers. Like, for example, some students would say that towel is the wrong word here, the odd one out, because it begins with a different letter. Some will say that snow is a different thing, because everything else describes a situation in the summer. And then students will talk about number of letters and stuff like that. And this is okay that they provide different reasons, as long as they do provide different reasons. So every time you present your students with an odd one out task, make sure you ask them why. So they have to give reasons for the answer. Much the same purpose is reached if you do the task like continue the line. So you give a number of words and you ask your students to say which word may come next. Like, for example, sweets, sugar, chocolate, and then they may come up with any words provided they can explain these things. So this gets them thinking, not just focusing on vocabulary, but at the same time, they brush up a whole range of vocabulary. Another thing that you can do is you can ask your students to match a part and the whole object. Like, like, for example, when you do a puzzle, you have a picture and you have some objects, and you need to match parts to the objects. Or better still, you can give them a part of a macro photo, a very, very enlarged photo, which makes it really difficult to recognize what is actually being photographed. And you ask your students to recognize the whole object. Like, for example, you give them a picture of a stem of an apple, which looks like a huge wooden log. and they need to tell that this is an apple. They may have some other ideas, but the main thing here is, same as with the previous tasks, is to ask the students to explain what makes them think so. So in this way, they not only brush up the vocabulary, but they match, they analyze, they synthesize information. And for the same purpose, video quizzes can be used. There are plenty of them on YouTube. They're absolutely free, much the same as the other link in the middle of the slide. Everything's free, everything's there. You don't even have to spend much time to find these things. When it comes to older students, there are some more tasks to activate their thinking and processing information. Sorry about the line in Russian. That was my idea. So basically, that's how we can develop analytical thinking skills in students when they work with text and videos. For example, you can ask them to read about a period, to watch a video about a historic period, and to create a timeline of events. And they can use any of the free timeline creators like this one, or on Canva, or on some other free web services. Or you can ask your students to watch a video or to read a story and write down 5 key events or 5 features of something and explain why these events are the key ones. So you do not tell them which events to write about, but you rather let the students decide which ones are the most important. Of course, once again, they will come up with rather different answers. So this may become the basis of a discussion and of further analysis and synthesis. You can ask your students to characterize certain characters from a story. And with the next group of students, you can use the characteristics provided by the previous group and to ask the next group of students to match the characters and their characteristics. So at the same time, they exercise analytical thinking and synthetic thinking. Or alternatively, you can ask your students to read a story and tick the topic that is not mentioned in the story. Typically, what you will see in an exercise like that is read a story and tick the topic of the story. But this is done very easily. So to do that, students normally need to read the first lines of each paragraph only. While when they need to decide which topic is not mentioned there, they will have to go deeper. They have to go beyond the surface of the information and to read more and compare things, and perhaps sometimes compare and contrast things from different parts of the story. And once again, when you require your students to work with different parts of the story, rather than simply searching for a keyword in a certain paragraph, you can ask them questions like this. Like, for example, what kind of person is this character? Or, for example, there is a line, she did a strange thing. Why did this thing seem strange? So all these why kind of questions lead to more thinking and to explaining. Of course, students will not be able to do it on the top of the head. They will need to be taught how to do it, but we have already covered some possible ways in the previous slide. Matching exercises also work really well for this purpose. When you have to match information from different information sources. Like, for example, you can ask students to watch an additional video which adds some information to the textbook, and then ask them what information from the video is not mentioned in the textbook. Or you can ask them to read about the reign of a certain king, or about some other historic period, and then look at the timeline. And by the way, this can be the timeline created by the students in one of the previous exercises. And then you ask your students to match the timeline and a particular part of the reign to understand which part of the reign it describes. Or you can ask the students to read a paragraph in the textbook, watch a video, and prepare an explanation for the classmates of how something is done. Like, for example, how a particular tense is formed and used, or how some process happens, or perhaps some other kind of explanation. But once again, the students will have to think about the audience, they will have to select information very carefully, and they will have to process the information. So once again, by setting this task, we boost students' analytical thinking. And for example, you can ask your students to read a text and watch a TED Talk on the same topic, and you can ask them then to analyze what the authors and the speaker agree on and what they disagree on. And this is a very TOEFL format task, but with the only difference that in the TOEFL format, starting from 2020, they do not have agreements in the video and in the listening and in the reading task. There is always a disagreement, and here we leave some room for agreement. You can also ask your students to do mini research, like for example, mini research projects. And when I say mini research, I mean something that can be done within the space of one lesson. So you can ask them to do mini research to answer why questions, like, for example, why is there no official language on the federal level in the USA? And a lot of students are surprised to find out that the American Constitution does not state an official language, unlike the constitutions of some particular states. Or you can ask your students to do a project to test a hypothesis. Like, for example, many sayings you typically see in textbooks, like, for example, "it is raining cats and dogs," are hardly ever used in modern colloquial English. Is that true? And the students will have to go and do some research. Like, they'll have to Google those things. They can use Youglish to find examples of videos using those sayings. They can use English corpus or some other research tools. Or, for example, to give you an example of the easiest task to organize, you can ask your students to research or even to brainstorm tasks like list as many examples of this rule in real life as you can. And when it comes to some internet resources, there are two resources that I'm happy to recommend. The problem is that there are lots and lots of internet resources that can be used, but it is rather difficult to focus on those resources that are directed at students of particular levels and that are built around specific task types that students will need for exams, unless we are talking about resources which are dedicated specifically to taking TOEFL exam or IELTS or whatever. But when you think about Russian resources, Russian English language resources, you will find such resources as SkySmart, which is a free interactive workbook with thousands of exercises, about 100,000 of them, for school textbooks. This is the address, you see it on the screens. And one more web service, which is called Title.online, which is a growing online library of EFL textbooks. Right now, as the name suggests, there are textbooks published by Title publishers, but we're going to expand this library and to add some more resources so that you can use these books online from any browser, from any place, even on your smartphone for lessons. So basically, to sum up, as my time is running out, I'd like to say that these techniques are universal. They do not depend on a particular textbook or a program, so they can be used with any textbook, basically. And they enable students to learn to actively process information, to analyze it, to compare and to build up on various sources and test hypotheses. And that's something which is much larger than just searching for information, searching for answers in a text. And these techniques do not increase the teacher's workload because most of the work is done by the students, including creation of tasks for each other. So this is it. In case you want to ask some questions, here's my email address. You can find me on Facebook. And thank you very much for giving me the time and the ground to talk about these things.
Great. Well, Alexi, that was great. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's not only many students don't realize that English is not the official language. Most Americans don't realize that either. So great. That was a lot of great information. And we're going to talk soon about
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you again. And next up, we have an interesting speaker. Oh, it's me. So basically what I wanted to do is, while you're here, I wanted to give you some information about EFL Talks. And let me bring up my own slides. We'll get started and I'll give myself 10 minutes. So you've probably seen some of this information going past me in the background here, but I want to go through and give you a little story about EFL Talks and what we're trying to do and what we've been doing. So here's my 10 minutes. And first of all, we're EFL Talks, and obviously we're teachers teaching teachers. And this is something that I started just over 5 years ago. And Elena was asking me, you know, how did I start this? And it was actually a kind of interesting story that I was watching a webinar with a friend of mine and colleague, Shelley Terrell. And she came up five or 6 years ago with the 30-day challenge. And she said she challenged teachers and teacher trainers to come up with something new and different to help students and also to help teachers. So I started thinking about everything that I saw going on in the world at the time. And at the time, we used to have live sessions and live conferences all over the world. And I spoke at many. I was traveling a lot, which is very expensive, very hard to do. And most people don't have this opportunity around the world. So I was thinking about all the teachers in, less developed countries that couldn't afford to travel, that couldn't afford to go to conferences. And I thought, how could I bring teacher development and CPD to these teachers? And what I did is I was really thinking about all different methods. And one thing that I thought of is that when I go to some of these conferences and I go to some even webinars, and you may notice, for me, talking about one good point or a few good points for an hour or 90 minutes just was too long. And there were so many talks that I thought these talks should be made shorter. So I was thinking about TED Talks and how they were much briefer. I was also thinking about the Pechakucha. If you've ever seen these, this is where they do they do 20 slides in 6 minutes. And the idea is to go fast and to speed up the process. And I took that, and I took the fact that I wanted to make this free and available to everybody. And at the same time, I was making juice in the blender. And I said, well, what if I mixed all these things together and put this into a blender and mixed it up? So we were joking about it. It was called blended teaching. And I took this concept, and what I did is I immediately called a couple friends of mine. And I said, what do you think of this idea? Do you think I'm crazy? The response was, yes, you're crazy, but it's a great idea. And EFL Talks was born. Now, the whole idea of what I came up with, the hook that I wanted was you only could talk for 10 minutes. So it was making one major point about something major in teacher development. And you could only use 10 PowerPoint slides. So the 10 and 10 was born. And since that time, as you can see, we've done 35 different EFL Talks over, I believe it was 37 days. And we started off our very first one, which I thought, go big or go home. I decided for the very first EFL Talk to have 50 speakers. So it was a full day affair, took about 11 hours, very tiring. And we did 50 speakers. And then we went on, I've done different things. You see that we have the presidents of IATEFL and TESOL, talked about teacher associations. Then we went to Ecuador, Brazil, Latin America, and you can see all the different things that we've done. We've done some specific for young learners. We've done things specifically about reading, about business English. And so we try to mix it up. And lately what we've been doing is we're trying to help focus on specific areas throughout the world. We've done one in the past. You may remember we did EFL Talks Russia, Italy. We've done Ecuador again. We've done Poland. And we did an interesting one with the International Publishers Exhibition, talking about my ELT journey, which is really people giving their histories of how they came up. And we celebrated our 5th anniversary the beginning of this month, which was World Teachers Day, which is 5 years to the day of when we started. Now, we've been doing a lot since then. In 5 years, we've got 396 EFL talkers. And what I have to tell you, we're not for profit, obviously. We don't charge anything for our events. And all our speakers speak for free. And they're great volunteers, and 396, and we're growing. We now have over 550 videos on the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. And you can go in anytime, look for any type of talk. You can look at the playlist. You can look at general talks and search through. And if you're really bored while you're home on lockup, it's about 120 hours of expert teachers giving you expert advice. And the idea was we wanted it to be fun, fast, and available to everybody forever. And that's what EFL Talks is. We're very concerned about parity, which is something big in the industry right now. So we've been very pleased. In 2018, we won the Eve of the Year for Inspiring Women of ELT, which was a 2-day marathon of just women for Women's Day. And we thank Eve for that. We just won another Eve Award for ELT Journey. We, as you can see, 246 women to 147 men. We have a puppet, we have a robot, and we have a frog. So non-native English teachers are 266 to 127. And 3, we're not sure. The puppet, the robot, and the frog, we're not sure on their language. But everything can be found on the website, which is EFLtalks.com. This will take you to our Facebook page. It'll take you to the YouTube channel. It'll give you the events and has pictures of all our speakers and everything else there. So all the information is available. We did something interesting a couple of years ago. What we did is we took our first talkers and we compiled a companion guide. And the companion guide is done with, basically articles further going into the talks of some of our EFL talkers. And these are available on Amazon.com. If you go to EFL Talks on Amazon, you'll be able to find this and get it. It's very inexpensive. You can get it either online, as it's only a couple of dollars, and that money goes to help keep EFL Talks going because we don't have any sponsorship. We do have supporters though, and we hope you can become a supporter. And you can also get it printed and order it and shipped to your house. And last year we did something which I always joked about, and people said, no, that's crazy, but we decided to do it. It's the EFL Talks cookbook. And the idea, it's a 10 and 10 cookbook. And it's teachers feeding teachers. The whole idea is all the recipes in the book take 10 ingredients and only take 10 minutes to prepare. So we have a collection of recipes from around the world. It's a pretty big book. I believe we have 70 different recipes in here, and they're delicious. That's why I'm so fat. And this one is, I'm very proud of this because this one really helps support us. It's inexpensive and online. You can read it on Kindle or any readers. The book, though, because it's in color and it's full of pictures, is a little bit more expensive. But, all the profit that goes from this helps keep EFL Talks going. We also have the Facebook page. You'll see our group, EFL Talks. And we have a newer page, EFL Talks TD, which is a teacher development page, which we add only teachers there, and they can add information that's helpful to other teachers around the world. And we have Cephaly, if you want, take a picture of yourself with EFL Talks in the background, put it up on your page, help us spread the word. And really, I have to give a big thanks to my 396 teachers. And here they are. We're growing. It's getting harder and harder to get everybody on one page, but that's great. I'm hoping in, let's see, the next few months, we should be doing more talks we'll be in Honduras, we'll be in Quezal, Latin America again, another one for TESOL, hopefully the Ukraine, Hong Kong, and some other specialty things. So it's EFL Talks, and it's teachers teaching teachers, and we hope you get involved. So with that said, let me bring on the boss. And you should all know Evgeny. He's going to do his talk, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Trendy after that. So thank you so much, sir, for being here.
Thank you, Rob. It's a great honor to be participating for the whole Trendy English team. So I'm supposed the last in the team, but not least.
Last but the best. We save the best for last. Okay.
Okay. So thank you so much, Rob. A brief introduction of me. My name is Evgeny Sachov. So business development of Trendy English, it's a big project, it's a community. I also teach, and I work for the Moscow International Academy, where I had the department of teacher training department. And what I'm going to speak today in my talk, it's about current trends in ALT, right? In education in general, I would say. So I'll share my screen, just a second. One moment. And the talk is gonna be about current trends. Here it is. Okay, it's called Be Trendy Teaching in the Digital Age. Okay.
Great. 10 minutes.
Yes, so I've got 10 minutes, right? So I'm going to touch upon, I would say, the most important changes we're going to face and we're currently facing in terms of teaching English in this digital age, to this digital natives, learners, digital native learners, and some implications of that, right? So the first trend, which is maybe controversial, but it's use of artificial intelligence in ELT. Actually, it's not a distant future. It's going on now, and you see that the feature of today's learning and teaching is just close communication with different platforms, machines, things like that. Of course, we're just at the beginning of this way, but in many ways, AI is a part of learning. If we take, for instance, the areas like exam management or some other areas related to automation and using different platforms. So it's not absolutely new. It's not a distant future, as I said. So many big companies, educational companies, for instance, like Pearson, has already been using AI in their exams, and it helps to assess all the skills, including writing and speaking, by use of the machine. So what I suppose we need to adapt and adopt is just the fact that AI is a part of our daily life, and we need to find ways how to use it for the sake of English language teaching. So the second trend, which closely related to using AI, is digital literacy. So going online and using the different digital tools, of course, it's a trend which we are involved in. And here we touch upon such issues, information management, data and media literacies in this regard, digital learning and digital development. Of course, communication, collaboration, and participation in this online context, as well as digital creation and scholarship. And of course, digital safety. So again, as teachers, we need to be fully aware what's going on in this direction and make our fair share so to this sort of development. And of course, it may make us so-called digital teachers. Of course, being human, but we need to actually find the right balance between the digital world and face-to-face communication in our classes. But again, in Russia, it's just a big issue because I suppose as most countries, so this coronavirus issue just makes us find different ways of teaching, and we are limited in terms of face-to-face communication. So there is a big way ahead how to put all these digital literacies in our teaching practice. The next one, which was a bit of surprising to me, is called bite-sized learning. So again, it's just a feature of a new generation, which we currently call Generation Z, which mostly so attached to their devices, gadgets, things like that. And due to this lack of concentration, due to this lack of focusing, so they just get information through small chunks. And that's why using this approach, bite-sized learning, giving them information in small bites, I would say, right? It has, again, some implications such as improvement of psychological engagement of this Generation Z learners, taking advantage of our energy, ebb and flow. Of course, it's good for the brain working memory, and it can lead to better learning and business outcomes. And of course, it adapts to modern day learners. So I suppose this area should be developed and developed really soon, as well as the technology is developing really, really fast. So the next trend, which my colleague Elena spoke about, it's gamification. And I suppose Trendy English Games team today gave you a clear example how gamification and games may be implemented in English language teaching. As well as this trend, there is another app innovation. You see that apps are currently being innovated, and they change the way that learners interact with their devices, with their gadgets. And I suppose future development of this particular technological stuff will be gradually and maybe radically at the same time changing the educational content and contexts as well. Okay. The next trend, which I suppose we have been experiencing for a few years, refers to personalized learning. So those companies, those teachers who manage to personalize their learners' learning, I suppose will get great benefits due to some features that personalized learning provides, such as flexible content and tools, so targeted instruction, student reflection and ownership, and of course, data-driven decisions. So there is a lot done in this area in personalized learning. It's not an absolutely new idea, but it has a new, I would say, a new look, yes, and a fresh look. How to use the power of the internet, of the digital stuff, digital solutions to make learning English more personalized. Again, we see this the reflection of this trend in many textbooks, which have sort of personalized activities and which develop learner autonomy. But again, I suppose we're just we're just facing the era of personalization and making this sort of pathway to obtain language skills and to acquire them, right? And this is pretty fresh trend. The next one is developing soft skills. So now I suppose you won't doubt that soft skills are becoming more and more important. As they say, it's one of the important skills, one sort of important skills for the 21st century. And by that, we mean efficient communication in both face-to-face context and online, time management skills, of course, effective teamwork, and it's our, I would say, duty at the lesson to provide this environment in which our learners become an effective team. Critical thinking and, of course, adaptability, they are all vital. What else, as I see as a teacher and say sort of business developer, right? That innovative teacher professional development is emerging, right? Of course, there are lots and lots teacher development programs, initiatives, including EFL Talks. On the other hand, this digital age and reality changes all that, and we have to focus on teacher leadership, digital citizenship, instructional design, and of course, technology integration. So the programs we are supposed to develop must take into account this latest changes and latest advances in using technology in this regard. And in this regard, these programs should be focused on this area as well. And now I'd like to invite all of you to our annual Trendy event, which is called Trendy English 9, right? It's a fully online conference and the biggest ELT event not only in Russia, but I would say in many countries, for many countries, I would say. We have a nice lineup for this conference, more than 130 speakers. And sorry, I'm finishing my presentation, Rob. Yeah, and actually, the day, the 28th of November, when the conference takes place, will be, I would say, completely different from face-to-face conferences we had before in annual conferences. Not only in terms of the opportunities and different features of the conference, which include not only talks, but different formats such as lightning talks, failure talks, and we have quizzes, and the whole conference will be arranged as a quiz, right? And people with different experiences, leading experts in different areas, such as John Hughes, Nikki Hockley, and then very recognized names, including Rob. Rob is the part of the training English team for the conference. So you have a nice chance to register and to get advantage of the early bird prices up to the 31st of October. So clicking on this link, and the link you have in the chat in YouTube, and you have a promo code from Julia in YouTube. So we'll be really happy if you join us at this amazing event. And it will be an event not only like exchange of knowledge and experiences, but a great great place for networking, digital networking, online networking. And we have I would say, gained some experience in that, because Trendy English has been using online format for more than a year. And when pandemic came, so it was a really hot months, right? March, April, and I don't remember how many conferences we held. So don't hesitate to participate in this event, and it will enrich you, not only in terms of topics and issues discussed, but only networking. So actually, it's the first time, I suppose, Trendy English has come out of Russia. Again, many thanks to Rob. But we're aiming to make Trendy English global, and it's like society and community, which will help us as teachers to communicate and to, I would say, be committed to our mission to educate, to engage, and to prepare our learners for this amazing future. So here are my contacts. You can contact me by email, right? I'm quite active in Facebook, and if you want some detailed information, you can use Telegram or WhatsApp. So I would be more than happy to collaborate and to involve you in our activities, which are taking place in Russia. But again, we're aiming at a global context. So it will, I believe it will be beneficial for all the sides involved. That's it. Rob, thank you very much to give me the chance to share my vision on the current trends, because the number of trends, I will say they are much bigger, but I believe these are most impactful somehow.
Well, it certainly is what we're dealing with most today. Things have really changed over the past few years for those of you who've been teaching for many years. And, you know, everything is digital, everything is portable, and we need to remake ourselves as teachers. And that's why I think things like this with the EFL Talks and definitely Trendy, which always have my little statue. You know, Trendy 9.
Yeah, Rob was the speaker at the previous Trendy 8. Yeah.
And it was great.
Okay.
Really, you know, people who know me, I'm from the States. I lived in Brazil for years. Then I moved to Europe, and I've been traveling around an awful lot. And I went to Moscow for Trendy 8, and it was wonderful. You may be located in some other country. Russia has a lot to offer. Just like, you know, bringing the world and making it smaller because we're online now is so important. And I really think that, you know, Trendy 9 and what Trendy English is doing is a great initiative. And they really have a huge following. And I was so surprised. You know, you guys have helped make me a more common name in Russia, and it's a huge audience, and you have so much to offer, and I recommend it to everybody anywhere in the world, not just in Russia. So great work you're doing.
Thanks, Rob. So we are open to any kind of collaboration. So with individual teachers, companies, small enterprises, whatever, because only doing something together will help us face this new digital age, which is already a reality. It's not a distant future.
No.
And, yeah.
It's
and changes will, the changes will speed up, really speed up. And when I was preparing for this talk, I just looked through articles and watched some videos, and actually, I was surprised by the fact that in 20 years, lots and lots of jobs will disappear. And for instance, we don't even realize the skills we're developing right now, say in a comprehensive school, for instance, they may be absolutely irrelevant in 5 years' time. So we teachers should be ahead. It's our mission to be ahead of this transformation of the educational system and ELT world as well.
Yeah, and you know, I'm very thankful you guys are bringing some great speakers out there with some great ideas to help make this change. And you know, it's just here today. I've got you know, 4 different sites that I've never heard of, and these are things I want to check out because they're tools that I can use every day in my teaching. So
thanks, Rob. We'll
So,
collaborate.
yes, and it's always a pleasure. And yes, he is very active on Facebook. One of the fastest response times ever when I send you a message.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So,
Well, so for that, I want to thank you. You put together a great lineup. Thank you for organizing this and bringing everyone together. And thanks to Trendy English, thanks to all the speakers, thanks to everybody watching on YouTube. And sure, we're going to have the full recording is available on YouTube right now. So for your friends that missed it, let them know. And I'm now officially on vacation for 2 weeks, so I'm going to be editing these down and we'll have the single videos available. So for those of you speakers who want to share them, feel free. Help us spread the word. Okay? Jenny, thank you so much again, and thanks to all the speakers.
Thanks, Rob. Yes. Best regards to all the listeners and viewers from Russia, right?
From Russia and the world. I mean, we've had Italy, Poland, Ukraine. Those are just, I know there was one from Germany, and those are just the people who identified themselves. So I'm sure when, people start waking up in Brazil and in South America, we're going to have a lot more viewers there too. So this is the whole idea. So thank you all again.
Sure.
Thanks to everybody behind me. We couldn't do it without the speakers. And thanks to all the viewers. Come and join us and become a speaker too. So check out EFLtalks.com. And with that said, I'm off to vacation. So thanks, everybody. And we are done.